Shower of shit, absolute disgrace, complete shambles. That's just Blackburn Rovers for you, and I don't think it's going to get much better than that. Right, folks, back once again with another match review. Looking back at Blackburn Rovers' latest shit show. That's right, of course, the latest defeat. As Blackburn Rovers, of course, now strung of results, or a string of results, that, of course, is relegation bloody form. We'll take a look at it in just a second. A big shout out to my VRPs. And of course, if you know where you been, smash your subscribe and get your back out today with all things Blackburn Rovers related, championship related, world football related. We got it all here, boys, under one roof. Of course, it's that time of year. What is it? Middle of October. It's all gone wrong. This time last year, it was carbon bloody copy. Rovers falling off the face of a cliff, and our season pretty much begins to fall flat on its arse right here, right now. Today, not that we weren't I wasn't expected to win this game, but I just wanted us to show a good account of ourselves and maybe some attacking dynamism with, of course, a very decent looking squad from the get-go, and of course the bench. We'll dig into the matter in a minute. Of course, big shout out to my VRPs. They are the Patreons. Of course, if you want to help us the channel in another way, check out the link down below, patreon.com/Roverseas. But let's get into it. It's not pretty. Even though it's just a 1-0 win, QPR coming out on top with a big fat W with Illias Chair on the score sheet on the 83rd minute. That's right. This is the tail of the tape. Look at that. Look at it. 65% possession going in favour of QPR. We did talk about it in the preview ahead of the game on the watch along, of course. They are one of the top 5 seeds in a lot of the columns, and I do anticipate them to be in that top 6, maybe even as high as 3rd in the table at the end of the season. But the form heading into this has just got spanked 4-1 by Fulham. And they didn't really, they had a lot of errors in their team, but we failed to capitalise, even with the Chilean wonder Chilean Harry Kane up top. Of course, Big Bad Roberto Diaz. For me, some confusing selections in the team sheet. We'll look at those in a minute. But just look at that. 16 shots for QPR, just 5 for Rovers. 4 of them off target. Just one of them. That means just one of them was on target for Rovers. And you know what? I think that could have been a big fat. I think it might have been the Barbet when he hit the ball back towards the goal and hit the post. So that was our best hope, was that an own goal potentially from Barbet, but it never happened. And yeah, I think QPR were a little bit hard done by not to score more than the one today. As you can see, 16 shots for them on the night. 8 of them off target, 8 of them on target or blocked or something like that. 3 saves for Kaminsky, who again keeping us in this one. 4 corners to our 2, 14 free kicks for Rovers, but guess what? We did absolutely nothing with them. It was like pointless. Pointless FC. This is like I said, if we break it down a little bit, this is the grand scheme of things. Big chances, 0. That's the 0 column there. We did hit the woodwork. I don't know why they say no, but we did with the big fat OG. So that's a bit of an error there. But regardless of all that, one counter attack, nothing really going in favour of Rovers. Long balls, that's us. Long ball FC, pointless FC, shit FC. That's what we are at the moment. I just wanted a bit more than this. If we look back, going back a few games now, since Huddersfield perhaps, you know, shit show there, shit show against Blackpool, and the collapse against Coventry, and now this. That's 4 games that I think we could have done more than just the 1 point out of it. 1 point out of 12, that's not good form, is it? It is questionable form, and when you look at the horizon, it doesn't get much better. I think we have Reading, who are on a nice bit of run themselves, coming forward. We've got Derby, who just don't know, they're grinding out results themselves, and then the big boys are coming, the Fulhams, the Sheffield Uniteds. It could be an ominous few games for us, few weeks as well, as we get closer to those not international break, but to the festive period. If the owners had any desire about this club, they would do a Nottingham Forest and pull the bloody trigger, even though his contract is expiring at the end of the season. Do the honourable thing to your fans who make this long ass trip, 300-400 miles one way, to make this trip to go down to bloody London and see your shower of shit. And then of course, give them something to get excited about, because Blackburn Rovers right here, right now, have been garbage. They've been garbage the past 4 games. Rovers have been absolutely diabolical for a good few weeks now, and a change is needed. A change is needed now, especially when we look at the likes of Reading and Derby in the next couple of weeks. They are winnable games when you think about it. Reading at home, we should be in that game. Derby away, we should be in that game. We should, in the thick of things, be getting at least 4, maybe even 6 points out of that, but I don't think we're going to get anything the way we're playing football at the moment. Anyways, take a look at that was the first half fixture, the stats there. Not much going right for Rovers in that regard. Again, it's all QPR. Second half, same deal, 61% compared to our 39. We did have a few shots in the second half. we did look a little bit better, but doesn't mean we lacked it in the end. Taking a look then, shall we? Of course, the starting 11s, we had Dane between sticks for QPR, Yoan Barbet, Rob Dickey, Jimmy Donn at the back there, Dominic Ball as well, Andrew Dazelle, Albert Adoma, who was a handful, 33 years of age, still bloody running rings around a lot of players who are, 10, 11 years younger than him. Sam McCullum as well, Illias Chair, Chris Willock and Lyndon Dykes up top. He really didn't have much to go off of this time around. Meanwhile, as for the subs, we did see the likes of Ousmane Kake coming on, Luke Amos and Charlie Austin, but no Andre Gray this time around. As for Rovers, we started with Kaminsky between sticks, Ayala, Van Heck, Lennon in a back three. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Taylor, who I thought was pretty good, and I like what I see so far. Leighton Clarkson, who I'm not really loving at the moment. Ryan Nyambe, Henry Pickering, of course. There were some moments for Nyambe anyway. Driving forward, he looked an absolute pleasure to watch. It irks me. I just read a tweet from one of the fellow Rovers fans out there. If we were to get rid of Mowbray and bring in somebody else with a bit more football brain or a bit more younger sort of mentality that could maybe revitalise the likes of Nyambe, Joe Rothwell, Diaz, Lenihan, and get them signing on a new contract. Maybe they don't believe in the project. Maybe they don't believe in the manager anymore. Maybe they're just sick and tired of playing the way he plays. And maybe a change of manager could save you 20, 30, 40 million pounds in talent walking out of the fucking door. I tell you that now. Just bloody pull the trigger, Venky's. Make the move. Get rid of him. Spend about 500, 700 grand and get rid of Mowbray and bring in a manager like a Wilder, like an Eddie Howe that will believe in these players and say, you know what, Nyambe, we'll spend a little bit of extra money and sign you up. We'll take you, Rothwell, and we'll sign you up and we'll build a team around you, sir, because you have a driving force. You are a unique player that needs to get more time on the ball and it needs to have a bit more priority about you, sir. That's what I want to see. Get rid of the gaffer. Move on. Pastures new. It's time. It is time to get somebody else in here to maybe get the keep. Look at the ages on. I can't see Joe Rothwell here, but Darren Lennox, 27 years of age. His next move should be a big move. If we can get him signed up for another deal, you know what? We can make a lifer out of him. And we can't say that about many other players. The same way with Kaminsky. We're on borrowed time. He could be out the door very, very soon as well. As for the subs, we saw Bradley Johnson coming on for I think it was Travis, Joe Rothwell coming on as well, and Sam Gallagher. Nothing. Absolutely nothing out of those. This is the shot grid here. QPR, the orange, again, peppered us quite heavily. All of Rovers' shots outside of the box. Nothing really, no trouble with the keeper at all. They had 706 touches compared to around 468. They had 524 passes compared to 283. They had more passes than we had touches. Goodness gracious me, an absolute shower of shite. This is the heat map. This is QPR. Every blade of grass covered at the back here. And of course, going forward, a lot of trouble for the Rovers defence to deal with. As for Rovers, very, very a weak effort for Rovers. Again, when they did come in, it was down the left-hand side, and I think Taylor Dunn was a key part of that, especially in the second half without Pickering. And Kaminsky was, of course, very, very busy as well. As is the starting lineup and the formations, everyone went with the back three, but guess what? QPR executed it in much more better style. They give the man of the match to maybe Albert Adoma with a 7 point. In fact, Yoan Barbet, 7.7 for him. As far as the best player calling these guys was Jan van Heck. I don't believe about that. I thought Taylor Dunn did absolutely immense, and I don't know. It's been 2 games now. They've actually shortchanged him with a 6.4. I thought he was a very, very good going forward, and he looks composed, especially from a player that's come from League One to this. Clarkson, I think you can take a back seat, mate. Butterworth, you're not ready at all, especially for games like this up against one of the bigger boys. Down here is the timeline of the events for the games that did take place, but ultimately we were a shower of shit. What do you think, Mowbray? Did you actually give a minute just to have a little chat with the reporters? Because you didn't say anything to the fans after they made the long ass trip to see this dog shit display. Anyway, Mowbray, what you got to say for yourself?
Tony, why do you think that game got away from you tonight?
Why did it? It was a great strike from the boy who won the game for them. I think for the vast majority of the game we frustrated them and we made life difficult for them. I think we know they're a good football team. They're possession based this season, and I'm not sure they overly created too many opportunities. I genuinely sat there and thought we were going to win 1-0, and yet ultimately we lost 1-0. So yeah, good quality from the player. Disappointed we didn't really create enough really on the transition, but yeah, okay. I think they're a good team, and good luck to them.
Because that opportunity at the start of the second half, that brilliant flowing move, if that goes in, it's a different game.
Yeah, we need to score, to be honest, and we have been scoring just about every game this season. It's frustration for us that we didn't score. We have made a few changes. I don't know how many it was, maybe 4 changes, 5 changes, I'm not sure. I think the team are strained at the moment, as with the muscle injuries we got to two of our, both first two substitutes were forced through injury. Listen, it's tough. The league's tough, and we came here away from home for the third time in the last 4 games. It's not easy to go away in the Championship and win football matches, and we came really to frustrate and hope we could sort of grab the points, but it wasn't to be. Left frustrated because it was so late, and I didn't really think they were going to get through.
You started again with 3-5-2. How disruptive was losing Lewis Travis and Harry Pickering, and how are they both?
Well, they're both struggling. They've both got huge ice packs on them at the moment. I made changes because I think the midfield work extraordinarily hard in our team, and I think Rothwell needed a breather. I think Buckley needed a breather. And yet, we've got a big game on Saturday that hopefully we'll have the players to get the job done against Reading. And it wasn't really a true reflection, other than we've been away to Middlesbrough, got a draw, went away to Millwall, got a draw, beat Forest away. We can grind results out away from home, and I thought we were going to grind that out tonight, and there's no need to come here and be super expansive and make it a game of basketball against such a good team who score lots of goals. So I think the game plan generally worked well, and yet we got no reward from it.
Meanwhile, what's been going on social media? Let's have a look then, shall we? Of course, where do we start? Where do we begin? We begin right here. Matty Cook. We travel every week. Wins, draws and losses. 466-mile round trip today. Mowbray went straight down the tunnel. No acknowledgement to the fans. No nothing. We can't get crowds. Appreciate the ones that we do. Goodness gracious me. Jamie, Tobias, Amos. There's certainly a pattern that emerges with Mowbray's era in the Championship. Go on a great run. Go on an equally bad run. And I'm starting to think if we want players to sign deals and keep them here, it might be a time for a change. But who? Are we beyond Eddie Howe? Mark Wood said, poor form from Rovers tonight. I'm getting a bit bored and fed up with all of this moving, to be honest. Maybe just how I'm feeling, but it's difficult to feel positive with anything about the club right now. Mediocrity at best. New York Rovers says 34 wins, 34 games, 8 wins. Emma said, Mowbray straight down the tunnel, not acknowledging the fans that have travelled all this way to watch this shite. The Red Tag shambles of a side from Nottingham that we beat earlier in the season are now level on points with us. Meanwhile, Mikey Delap said the terrible second half, dreadful in possession, and asked startling little of a side who had tried to do very little other than put their head down and tap away at our cracks until something broke. Midfield non-existent. Chris Martin, no winning 4, 1 point for the possible 12, and you can really say we deserve anything more than a return. As good as our start was falling back into the dreaded inconsistency. Big performance needed on Saturday. We ain't going to get it though. Lewis Hartley said no winning 4 league games, 5 points out of 6 games. When on paper you would expect to beat teams like Barnsley and Blackpool. This isn't good enough. Tony Mowbray clearly doesn't know his best lineup. This isn't good enough. Same shit week in, week out. Adam Salsuki, a double bubble from you, was at the game. We were poor, negative tactics, yes, but we don't have the personnel to go to QPR and play more attacking. Still, we couldn't do basics, and the biggest issue is our midfield cannot protect the back line. Oppo were threading the balls through our midfield lines at will. Back to mid-table for us. And that is all we deserve at the moment in time. I wish I could be more positive. Adam Hillick said, disgusting performance again. Not surprised though, while Tony is around, stinking the place out. Chris Moss, the most Rovers result ever. That leaves us in the most Rovers position in the league again. Time for a change. Jack Walmsley said, think that could possibly be the worst away game I've seen. Seriously, what was that? Or something like along those lines. Blackburn Rovers fans, sorry Tony, 3 at the back evidently doesn't work. How can you honestly expect a season ticket or a striker? That's what he wants. Striker to defend at the edge of our own box and have an impact where it matters. Please do the honourable thing and leave. Nathan Awood Ace said this formation is awful. You have to win games, and it seems under Mowbray now this isn't the case. Hard to watch Rovers at the minute. And Joseph Mills, use the money we didn't spend on a striker to pay off Mowbray in the hope it will give us the players an incentive to renew contracts under the new gaffer. In bloody deed. That's what I stole that kind of comment. But anyway, Rovers are a shambles at the moment. I just don't know what's going to go on. Let's take a look at what else went on in the Championship then, shall we? Of course, QPR did beat Rovers. Stoke did lose to Bournemouth, and Forest did beat Bristol City to go on another win. Goodness gracious me. Millwall 2-1 up against Sheffield United, or 2-1 win. And Derby 2-2 against Luton Town. Goals galore in that bad boy. Of course, quite a few games tomorrow. Not really going to eat that alive. Keep it up to 5th, looking good at the moment. A win away from going up to 3rd. Rovers in 11th, a win away from going to 7th. It's very, very tight in the middle of that park there. And as you can see, Forest are breathing down our necks. Derby, Peterborough and Barnsley going to go down at the moment. But of course, Derby are just around the corner. Reading are next for us. They're in 8th. and they are on a bit of a run themselves. 4 wins of the past 5. It's not great. Here it is in black and white. Cardiff against Middlesbrough this weekend. We have Coventry up against Derby. We have West Brom against Bristol Road City. Let's do Luton Town against Hull City. Bournemouth against Huddersfield. Birmingham against Swansea. Blackpool against Preston North West. Crunch Clash there. Millwall against Stoke. Peterborough go to QPR, or QPR go to Peterborough. And Barnsley take on Sheffield United. North Yorkshire affair there. And Forest take on Fulham. Of course, that might stop the rot there for Forest, who could just keep on winning. But the game of the day will be at Rovers at Ewood Park as they take on Reading. That, my friends, is just about that. It's a shower of shit at the moment. Rovers need to get results, and they need to get one quick. If they can get a couple of wins together, you know what, it might steady the ship. But right now, it's miserable time, because up ahead, the next 4 games, it looks grim. I'll be lucky. We'd be lucky if we get 4 points out of the next 4 games. But I doubt it. I really doubt it, especially Reading coming this weekend. Anyway, that's it. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. I look forward to hearing from you, as Rovers look like shit, and they continue to do so. Time for a change, Moby. Pack your bags, mate. I hope to see Venky's make a move, but I don't think they'll do it. Anyway, until then, see you soon. Until then, we are done. Thanks for stopping by. I'm getting out of here. I need a bloody lie down.